this is how I link my goals to my budget. Hey beautiful people, welcome back. I am Matilda, of course, from Kwacha Tribe. I'm so glad to have you here. Now you know what we're all about at Kwacha Tribe, all about financial literacy, leveling up and growing so that we can live the type of lives that we want, right? Yeah. Okay, so for me, one thing I really do appreciate when I am doing my budget is, currently anyway, is linking my goals to my actual budget. This kind of helps me know if I am if I have approached my goal, if I've reached my goal, or if I'm on track, or if the goal is actually unrealistic. And if it is unrealistic, you know, it's my goal. I can adjust it because then I'll be like, Matilda, does this really make sense? Are you going to achieve this? And so if I'm like, no, I won't, and looking at my current situation, this is not realistic, or maybe I was, my head was in the clouds when I was coming up with that goal, I adjust it. But one thing for sure is it allows me to also see my budget and my goals together. So this is how I keep track of both of them. Let's go.
Welcome to this other example of how we are living our lives using Kwacha Tribe budgeting tool so that we can live the type of life that we want, of course. And so this is the simple Excel template that I made, and I filled it up with a fictitious situation. In this video, we are going to look into the goals section, your goals. So when you get this template, this is what the goals section is supposed to represent, right? Okay. So the goals section is basically a place that I put together where we can, yes, have our budget on one side, but the goals on the other side, and they interact with our monthly budget, our average monthly budget, which is this one. It finds the average of everything. And so even as you progress through the year, you kind of figure out, okay, so this is how my budget is behaving. My savings are like this, my expenses are like this, and my incomes on average are like this. Whenever you change your figure here, it changes. But that's what we're here. We're here for this section here. So you have your goals for the incomes you want to receive, the expenses you want to spend for a season, and also the savings you want to achieve for a particular season. So if we say your monthly goal for your salary is to earn 7,000 kwacha per month, it gives you the yearly calculation. It's automatic. So you get 84,000 in 12 months. And this for me was groundbreaking. It makes me feel good when I do this because then I'm like, so I'm bringing this amount of money per year. And so, yeah, that was my phone. And so that is what I like about it. And then it compares it with what you are getting on a monthly basis in reality, because on this side, it's the reality. On this side, it's what you want to achieve. If his goal is to have side hustle one giving him, let's say, a 2,000 kwacha per month, then side hustle two to give him a 3,000 kwacha per month. So that by the end of the year, he would have gotten 36,000 kwacha from this other side hustle. Now, monthly meaning he's targeting to be getting 12,000 kwacha, yearly 144,000 kwacha. But this tracking, this is where there's a comparison with what is actually happening in reality. In reality, salary, you can see it's negative 2,000. Brackets means negative in accounting or yeah, and it's red, meaning he is behind his goal. So his goal is ahead of what is happening in reality. And so it's red to say, whoa, pay attention to your goal. You are not on track yet. If we look at side hustle two, he was actually ahead of his goal by 166 kwacha. And if we put it at 2,500, you see what happens. He's behind by 333 kwacha. So if this was his original goal, then that's what happened. Side hustle two, his goal was to be getting a 3,000 kwacha per month so that he raises 36,000 kwacha in a year, but he's behind by 250 kwacha. So not such a bad difference. So it's just to tell you how far behind you are from your goal. And it helps you also just know, okay, so what happened and so why didn't I reach this goal? So when we go to expenses over here, we are looking at the goals that we have where money is actually living. because income is where money is entering your pocket and expenses money is leaving your pocket. And so, of course, for me, because I truly believe in tithing, but if you do not tithe, you can remove that amount and do whatever it's running. So now, on a monthly basis, if his target is 12,000 kwacha, that means that he is going to be targeting to tithe 1,200 per month, right? That means in a year, he's going to tithe, he plans on tithing 14,400, right? Now, when you look at what he's currently doing on average over here, he is actually tithing 1,200, which is, there's no difference in what is happening. But if he targets to say he wants to gain more money, right? So if he's targeting to say it's 15,000 is what he aims to get in the next season, like that's his goal to be having 15,000 purchase per month. And so he says, because of that, I'm going to target to tithe the 1,500 per month. And he aims to tithe 18,000 in that year. And so, if that's the case, meaning that his goal is ahead of what is happening in reality. It's not red here because this is an ambitious goal. Red for me, if it was going to be red here, it was going to cause some concern. Where it causes concern is if the goal is less than what you're currently tithing, because it means that you do not aim to grow your income more than what you are getting. And so you do not aim to tithe more. But I mean, if we are all aiming to grow our income more, we want to tithe more. So if we say someone wants to reduce that tithe to 1,000 kwacha, it's going to go red because it means in reality you are tithing more and your goal is to tithe less, which is not what we want. And then if we look at rent 2.5 and here he's paying rent for 1.5, it's only 1,000. It's not red because it's showing that he actually wanted to pay higher rent, but he's found accommodation that's cheaper, and so there's more money remaining with him. So it shouldn't be an area of concern. It should be an area of celebration because he is actually saving more money here. So let's go to now debt. Debt here, he in reality is paying 1,858.83 weight, right? But he targeted to service his debt by 2,000 kwacha. And the aim obviously was to say he wants to really aggressively reduce his debt, right? And so for that year, he was going to pay 24,000 kwacha. But because for some months he paid 2,1, other months maybe he paid 1,7, following his income, of course. Like we said, like for some months where he wasn't getting, he got an increment somewhere or something like that, the drill, right? So now when we look at this, 2,000 kwacha, his monthly target to be servicing his loan, but he is behind by 141 kwacha 17 weight. Not bad, not bad. But it's red because it's showing that, look, for your debt, you wanted to pay more because it gives you more peace to be ahead of your debt than behind. And so that's why it's in the red to say, ding, 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 pay attention on this one. We cannot lag. It's going to cause us a lot of stress. So make sure that you're always ahead. So if he, let's say his goal was 1.8 and he planned on paying 21,600 in that year, he is going to be ahead in the debt servicing area by 58 kwacha 83 weight. And it's good because it's not causing for alarm. It's showing that, okay, yes, you wanted to be at 21,600, but you are over by 58 kwacha 83 weight. He's paying more, right? It's not in red because that's a good thing. You want to reduce your debt as soon as possible. That is for this mindset. But if you say, oh no, I think I just want to be right on track, you can still reduce this because remember in debt, when you overpay, it really does reduce the cost of the loan in the future. So that's what we want. So when we come to savings, his goal to save emergency fund, he wanted to save every month 600 kwacha so that by the end of the year, he has a 7.2, right? So he is actually ahead of his game because he is, as you can see here, he's saved 400 on average, 641. Here he targeted the 600. Here 241, he targeted the 200. You can see that he's actually ahead. So that is how we link our goals to our budget and track